Welcome to EMS Quick Byte. I'm Chris Andrews, your go-to guy for 20-plus years of EMS experience. I've seen it all, from the good to the ethically complex. And joining me today, as always, is Jamie.
Hey everyone, I'm Jamie, fresh out of paramedic school and still learning the ropes. Today's topic is all about the legal and ethical issues that can pop up in EMS, something I didn't think would be so complicated until we dove into it in class. Chris, you've probably seen it all firsthand, right?
Absolutely, Jamie. One of the first things we have to deal with on scene is consent. There are a few types: expressed, implied, and involuntary consent. It's important to know when each applies because getting it wrong can lead to big legal issues.
Yeah, and we learned about minors and consent in class. Chris, have you ever had to deal with a parent refusing care for their kid? What do you do in that situation?
All the time, and it can be tough. In cases where the kid's in real danger, we can use implied consent. But you always want to follow local protocols and contact medical control when you can.
HIPAA is something I've heard of, but it feels like a lot of people don't really know how strict it is until they're on the job. Chris, have you ever had any close calls with patient confidentiality?
Let me tell you, it's easy to slip up. You've got to be really careful about what you say and to whom, even when you're talking shop with your crew. One bad joke or offhand comment, and you could be looking at serious repercussions. It's not just about what's on paper, it's also what comes out of your mouth. Advanced directives and DNR orders are another big area where we can get into trouble. A DNR doesn't mean do nothing. It just means we don't do CPR, but we still have to provide comfort care. That's where a lot of people misunderstand.
In school, they really drilled it into us to always check for a DNR or advanced directive. But what if it's not clear or the family is freaking out?
Yeah, that's where the in good faith part of the job comes in. Sometimes you're going to make judgment calls, but you need to be sure you've checked for documentation and follow your protocols to a T.
Chris, can you explain negligence and how it can ruin someone's career?
Sure thing. Negligence is when you fail to act the way someone with your training should, leading to harm. And there's abandonment, where you leave a patient before they're properly handed off to someone equally or more qualified. Both of those can get you sued, or worse, ruin your reputation.
I guess the takeaway is that documentation is everything, right?
Exactly. If it's not in the report, it didn't happen. Ethics is another big area, and it's not always black and white. You're going to face moral dilemmas in this job, especially when you have to make quick decisions.
Like what kind of dilemmas?
Things like whether to follow every rule exactly when you know bending it might save someone's life. I'm not saying break the law, but sometimes you're faced with tough choices.
Wow, so legal and ethical issues aren't just a part of the textbook. They're real, and they happen more often than I thought.
That's right. And the key is to always act in good faith. Know your scope of practice and document.
Well, I've learned a lot today, and I hope our listeners have too. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check out EMS Quick Byte for more episodes.